Hey, it's Anna. Welcome back to my channel. This is the November Readathon. It is Thanksgiving today that I am starting this. I'm not actually going to officially start the Readathon until tomorrow, so it's a true Friday to Sunday. This is going to be an interesting Readathon, obviously not fully in my usual setup. You know, we're gonna have to be in different places because we're spending time with family, going up north today. So that's going to be fun. I'm very excited for it. And I'm just trying to at least film an intro in a semi-familiar place because we'll be in a lot of different places over the weekend. In terms of what my personal goals are for this readathon, it's going to be interesting because on Monday, the 27th, I go in for wisdom teeth surgery. And so I feel like there are quite a few things I need to make sure I get wrapped up before going into surgery. So I don't know what exactly my exact reading looks like. Today's kind of up in the air for the actual Thanksgiving day, so that could really affect how much I get done. But let's go over the 4 physical books I'm going to bring with me to up north when we're there for most of the weekend, and the one audiobook that right now I have planned to listen to. So throwback from last readathon, we have Warrior Princess from the Maybird series. I haven't picked this up all month, not because I haven't wanted to, it's just there I feel like have been other books that have been priorities. I've read 3 ebook arcs this month, so I had to get those out of the way. I finished Fourth Wing this month, so I just feel like this was put on the back burner and I want to bring it back to the front. So it's not that long. I'm already part of the way through it. I'm hopeful to finish this one. Then we have this month's book club pick, which is The Immortalist. I'm already about a third of the way through it, so I'm hopeful to finish this one specifically before wisdom teeth surgery because I want to read all of this before that happens, and then I will hopefully be coherent enough on December 3rd to actually talk about it with book club. And then the last thing I have to review on NetGalley is like a book club packet based off of this book, Kiss the Girl. So I really want to finish this Kiss the Girl because then if I do, I have 100% feedback ratio on NetGalley. So excited. I'm also about a third of the way through this one. The Little Mermaid is my favorite princess, so I'm really enjoying this one so far. This is the 3rd book in the Meant to Be series. The first book, If the Shoe Fits, and the second book, By the Book. I've read both of those, really enjoyed it. I really like this series. I hope Disney keeps coming out with more. I would love to see, I feel like I would like to see Tiana's story most next, but that's just me personally. And then I feel like this is just going to be on constant rotation because it's such a long book. I'm only 44 pages into this. I really thought I was farther, but I'm not. But there's already so much that has happened in the first 44 pages of Iron Flame that I get overwhelmed and I need to put it down and read something else because my brain just starts to get overloaded. So maybe I'll get sucked into it in a little bit, but it's just there's so much new information being thrown at you. I just can't process it all at once right now. And then I'm currently listening to a different audiobook, but I only have an hour, maybe 40 minutes left of it. And the drive up north is 2.5 hours. So I'll definitely be able to listen to it, I think, driving up there. So the audiobook that I know will be my main audiobook for the readathon will be The Rosewood Hunt. I did see this on my social media pages. I have seen the author's videos about it, so I'm definitely interested to read it. I'm curious to see how the book kind of goes with the marketing because I feel like sometimes when someone markets their book on social media, it's not always as accurate. I'm hoping this one is fairly accurate to how it's been marketed, but we'll just have to see. So we're gonna drive up north, and then technically tomorrow will be the day that I officially start the readathon, but again, I wanted to at least get a nice familiar setup for the introduction. So let's fast forward to the next day. Good morning. It's the second day of the readathon. I did no first day updates, and that was because we decided to come back from the cabin just a little bit early. I am pretty nervous about my wisdom tooth surgery on Monday, so I really just want to have a relaxing weekend, and so the decision was made to come back early. I did a ton of driving yesterday though, so I was able to get quite far into the Rosewood Hunt. It definitely gives inheritance games vibes. It gives, at least to me, if you wanted a different version of the inheritance game with a similar fast-paced mystery presence, then this pretty much fits the bill for that. However, I am now about an hour and 17 minutes away from finishing it, and I don't know how there's an hour and 17 minutes left of the book. I wonder if some of the mysteries that are introduced are going to all be wrapped up. I also don't know if this is a standalone or a series, but I've really been enjoying it. And I've been enjoying it so much that it's been the majority of the time taken for this readathon, which we're clocking in at 10 hours and 57 minutes. And it is only 11 o'clock on Saturday, so doing pretty good pacing wise. And I am not 100% sure what else I want to do this weekend specifically, but today I definitely want to devote to reading. And then if there's there's other stuff that I want to do, I'll just do it tomorrow. I have read quite a bit of Kiss the Girl as well. I think I've read maybe like 100 pages, so making my way through that. This is the only book that I really want to read right now because I just love the Little Mermaid story. I love how the author is just flipping it on its head. I really do like this book. So I feel like this is the book that's taking all my focus, so I just want to kind of power through it, and then I would pick up The Immortalist or Maybird tonight, maybe throw in some Iron Flame in there too. I'm not 100% sure. So today is just going to be really chill, focusing on a lot of reading, doing some chores, and then tomorrow might be a little more of activities, but that's what I'm feeling today. Because like I said, I'm nervous to get my wisdom teeth out, and so I really want to try to keep myself in like a calm headspace before going into surgery. It might be silly, but I have it under anesthesia once, but right after I was under the anesthesia, I was put in a hospital room, but now we have like an hour drive to get to my oral surgeon, meaning an hour drive back. And I feel like that made the office manager a little bit nervous. So I'm trying to keep myself calm in whatever way possible. But I did pick out my next audiobook as well once I finish The Rosewood Hunt, because doing some chores during the day, I'll listen to the audiobook and I'm sure I'll finish the last hour and 15 minutes. And I picked out If He Had Been With Me. I believe that's the title. I should have looked at it before filming this clip, but I feel like the cover is iconic. I think a sequel is coming out this year, maybe next year, or like the other perspective of this book. All I know is the girls in my book club really like it, so I figured it's pretty short. I could give it a shot. I don't know if I would finish it this readathon, but I at least wanted something that I could pick up that didn't have any holds, so I was able to just rent this book right away on Libby, because then whenever I finish The Rosewood Hunt, I'll just switch right into this book. So I'm pretty excited for it. I don't know too much about it except that my friends warned me it was kind of sad, so I definitely wanted to wait until I wasn't fully home alone when I listened to it. So let's go switch some laundry, let's keep reading Kiss the Girl, and we'll just see how far we get with the rest of the day with reading. All right, so I left the house. I was like briefly scrolling TikTok because I do like 2-minute TikTok breaks, and I saw that Barnes & Noble's has some signed editions, and there's a book that I've wanted to get. So I have 7 book buying credits, and with finishing Kiss the Girl today, I don't lose any. So I was like, okay, I can go buy some books. So let me show you what I got. I got Fowlhart's Huntsman because I want to read this duology for Duology December, and this is the second book. I believe technically there's a prequel and there's like a 1.5, but in my eyes it's a duology. So I wanted to get this. It's a signed copy, which I just think is really cool to have. And then I got Nightbane. I have met Alex Astor before, and I read Lightlark, and I have Lightlark signed, and I said either I'm going to somehow get a signed copy of Nightbane, which I saw at Anderson's bookshop, but I'm not going to Anderson's anytime soon, or I'll go to Barnes & Noble and see if they have the pin. And they did have this exclusive pin, which I thought was really pretty, so I was like, I will get it because I do eventually want to read Nightbane. I feel like Nightbane, this is a little side tangent from any readathon stuff, but I feel like Lightlark got kind of like a bad rap last year, and now this year I'm seeing a lot more people excited and like videoing their reactions to Nightbane. I don't know if my sides of TikTok is switching or what the deal is. That being said, we're at 14 hours and 35 minutes. It just turned to 4 o'clock, so I am doing really well. I have 10 hours then left of the readathon until I get to 24 hours, and then am I gonna push to 30? I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility, but I also feel like I have some prep stuff I want to do before my wisdom tooth surgery. I feel like the main thing I want to do is try to finish The Immortalist before switching my focus. Clearly, I left the house. I am not reading The Immortalist right now. I did finish The Rosewood Hunt, and I did like it. I could see how it got extended to that last like hour and 15 minutes. I really liked the book. I thought it was a great debut, and now I'm listening to If He Had Been With Me, which again, a lot of my book talk friends said that it wrecked them. So hopefully it doesn't wreck me on this like 40-minute drive I have home, but I'm gonna grab some Starbucks, get home, and then hopefully the Starbucks will push me through reading The Immortalist. And it's not like I don't like The Immortalist as a book, but it's very character driven, and I am not the biggest character driven girly. I really need some plot. And with If He Had Been With Me, right? If He Had Been With Me, I'm gonna keep messing up the title, I'm so sorry, but with If He Had Been With Me, I also feel like that's going to be very character driven. But because of how the book starts, I want to know how we got there. I want to know what happened. So I think I'm a little more invested than with The Immortalist,
because with the Immortalist, you can read the back of it and it'll tell you this, but they just get the days that they're gonna die. So they're gonna die, but like, I guess because you don't know how, that's what's supposed to, I don't know if I think maybe it's just because I don't care enough about this specific sibling, because you follow 4 siblings in the Immortalist. So I don't know if it's just because I don't resonate with this sibling as much as I did with the first sibling that you read about in the book. I'm not really sure. So, but I want to push through it for book club. I think I have like 200 pages left of it, so I would love to get it down by like 100 pages once I get home today, and then finish it tomorrow. And then when I finish it, can kind of see where I want to go from there in terms of how much of the readathon is left. Obviously, I would also like to get 24 hours, so if I somehow miraculously finish the Immortalist before the 24-hour mark, I would just continue reading something to get to the 24-hour mark and then decide, because yeah, like I said, I am nervous about my wisdom teeth surgery. I think reading and going on this little trip was helpful for me. So now off to Starbucks and then heading back to hopefully read more. All right, I've not done the greatest job of updating this readathon. I think it's just because of the travel, increased people staying at our house, whatnot, but officially over 24 hours, which is really exciting. Now, I really don't know if I'm gonna get over 30 or not. We are about to go take a family photo, do some shopping to get food to make sure I can eat stuff after my wisdom teeth surgery. And so I don't know exactly how long we're going to be out, and I don't know how much of an opportunity I'll have to actually listen or read any books. So I did finish The Immortalist, all tabbed, ready to go for book club. So happy I was able to finish this. And I am only an hour and a half away, I think, from finishing if he had been with me. Okay, these 2 books are both extremely character driven. And I am not the biggest character driven reader. I definitely care more about plots. So both of these books were a little bit harder to get to. If he had been with me is starting to ramp up, but the first like 5.5 hours were very slow going. They like some stuff would happen, but I was like, okay, I was expecting a little more, but again, I'm not the biggest character-driven type of reader, but The Immortalist, it had really ramped up with the last child that you follow, but then it just ends. Like, I turned the page expecting another chapter and was like, oh, it's over. Oh, and like, that is not my favorite ending with standalones. I definitely get the point of how it ended the way that it ended, but I was like, oh, really? Right there? This is where we're gonna stop? I am definitely excited to talk about this book for book club. My initial ratings, though, to be honest, is like maybe a 3 to a 3.5 out of 5. It's been my least favorite book club book, which is saying something because it's our 3rd book club book, but I definitely think that this has been my least favorite so far. But I wouldn't say that I disliked the book. I just definitely had, I might be just like character driven storied out, or I don't know. I definitely didn't like the ending, and then I think one of the children's perspective, like it was just too odd for me or something like that. I don't know. So I guess I'll have to reflect on this one a little bit more. I might have a different opinion tomorrow, who knows. And then because I'm almost done with If He Had Been With Me, I decided to really switch up the genre, because looking at what other physical books I had, so I have the 3rd book in the Maybird series and I have Iron Flame. And I was like, okay, well, I kind of want something a little different for audiobooks then, because honestly, I don't know if I'm going to get to Iron Flame, because these are technically the other books that are on my TBR for this month. I definitely overextended myself, but it happens to the best of us. So I might pick up one of these after Maybird 2 to kind of read alongside Iron Flame, but also I don't know if I'm going to finish Maybird before wisdom teeth surgery, and who knows what that's going to look like. So I picked up Hook by Emily McIntyre. I'm going to have to look up her last name. I know the first name's Emily. So I picked up Hook because all 5 books, I think there's either 5 or 6 books. There are at least 5 books in the series on Libby. And like I said, I'm fairly confident there's 5. Okay, I just looked on Amazon and there are 5 books in the Hook series. So, and all 5 of those are available for audiobooks, I believe, on Libby between my 2 library cards, which is awesome. So I figured if I'm going to start that, not terrible, right? And other books are going to come off my holds list. And obviously I feel like Hooked, because what I've heard, I know for sure it's a romance because I put on the romance filter. I don't know if it's a darker romance. I feel like it's a darker romance. And so it'll be interesting because I feel like that is a departure from everything else that I've been reading. So I would ideally love to finish the Maybird book. Don't think I'm going to. I am fairly confident in finishing If He Had Been With Me. And then once we get back from the family photo, I do want to record some TikToks, some reviews, get some content ready to go before wisdom teeth surgery tomorrow. And that's like the one activity I cannot do while reading. So again, really proud of myself for already getting to 24 hours. And I'm going to definitely be interested to see where the rest of the this readathon goes. I am also hopefully going to be editing most of this video like on Sunday night before I do my final wrap up on Monday, and I can listen to my audiobook while I do like my very beginning editings, because then I plan to actually watch the full video tomorrow morning. So that makes me pretty happy that I definitely still have a lot of audiobook time, and I am proud of myself for finishing 2 physical books so far during the readathon. If I could pull Maybird out, that would be kind of wild, but we'll just have to see. All right, it is the end of our November readathon. I am here to wrap everything up. I know I look a little disheveled, but it is wisdom tooth surgery today, and so this is what I'm going to wear to get my wisdom teeth out. So that's what we have on. Starting with my least favorite book from the readathon, The Immortalist. I'm rating this a 3 out of 5. I just think it was an interesting concept. There were interesting moments, but overall it was just like not necessarily the book for me. Very character driven, just not like my personal best vibe. Then I also did finish last night, If He Had Been With Me. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. I think the ending was just very not for me, and I feel like it was also a very character driven story, but it also captured what I feel like was the high school teenage experience very, very well, especially as a high school teacher. So I felt like I could appreciate that book a little bit more. This book also went in a more like, there was still some points of plots in the book, so I feel like I definitely enjoyed it more than The Immortalist. And then the second favorite book from this readathon was The Rosewood Hunt, which I'm giving a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I feel like if you like the inheritance games, you're going to like this book. And I feel like it's a really strong debut novel. I can't wait to see what else Mackenzie does. So I feel like that was a nice little like plot heavy palette cleanser too. Even though I had it before reading my 2 character-driven books, I feel like if I had listened to If He Had Been With Me first and then The Rosewood Hunt, and I listened to The Rosewood Hunt while reading The Immortalist, I might have been able to get through everything a little bit faster, but oopsies. And then upon reflection, this is a 5 out of 5 star book for me. I love the Meant to Be series. This was everything I wanted out of a Little Mermaid contemporary retelling, so I'm overall very pleased about that. I did not touch Iron Flame at all. I read maybe 2 pages of the other Maybird book, and then I did start Hooked by Emily McIntyre. I think I'm a little over an hour into Hook, and I think it's very interesting, the whole concept of what she's doing. I do like her writing style. I like the mystery that's coming in. This is a little bit of a darker romance, which isn't something that I've personally read before, so I'm interested to get into the genre. Overall, the time that I spent reading for this readathon was 27 hours and 19 minutes, which I feel like, considering how much was done in terms of taking a family picture yesterday, traveling, the driving, all of that, my own anxiety over my wisdom teeth, I feel like that's a really good amount of time, and I'm really proud of myself for that. And now we go into wisdom tooth surgery today. I have no idea what's going to happen this week, so if you're seeing this video, it means I got it edited before surgery, and hopefully everything went well. So I'm really interested for the December readathon because it is truly over the last 3 days of the year, and I feel like not too many people do a lot of work that last Friday before the end of the year. So I'm very interested to see how that December readathon goes. I feel like that'll be my most like read, but we'll see. That would be really exciting to have it be the most read out of, you know, all of my readathons. So I don't know what my content looks like for December at this point, but I am really committed to still posting once a week, every week for the year of 2023. So you'll definitely be seeing some content from me.